Hey everybody, it's good to see you. Welcome back to our video announcements. We have a special couple of guests with us. One of them is familiar with you, James McFadden. We've all seen James 1,000 times.
1,000 times. 1,000 times.
But James's boss, probably all of our boss.
No,
is
my gosh,
Amy
no.
Domtos.
No, I work for them, the staff.
Yeah, well, Amy's generous. Amy is the head, the director of Youth Services Bureau. And YSB is a really special work, special group, special ministry we think of you all as here in Fort Wayne. And we're really pleased to be able to be partners with you, to be part of the work that you do. And I think you know that over the run up to Christmas, our Angel Tree effort was in support of kids and families that come to you.
Yes.
Means a lot to us. It really, really does. Pastor, we appreciate this help. I wish everyone in your congregation could see the people when they come in and then we provide them with hygiene products, the smile, the gratitude that's one less thing that they have to worry about is huge. And so they are more than grateful. Like I said, I wish everybody that could see the gratitude that they show, because we have focused our shift. We've shifted gears in the last 3 years to focus more on the homeless population because the need is great. They're in crisis. We're there to help them. And so James and the team, they do amazing job with providing mentorship to these vulnerable kids. I'll let him speak more clearly about that, unless you have questions.
No. I think, it's startling to hear the numbers that come from you all.
Right.
And I think at least for me, in our minds, we have this sort of pecking order that it's terrible that anybody is homeless, but we kind of can set it in our minds, well, for adults, there's any number of reasons. It's terrible that you're homeless. But then when you bring that down to youth and children and hear the story of the vulnerability of young people in our community and who then become just invisible to us. And so to be able to be supportive of your work where you're no longer invisible, where somebody is no longer invisible, but a person, a human being, a kid.
That's, and as I've said before too, and been blessed to be able to speak to you and your congregation, having a partnership like this with individuals that do understand, that put in the effort to just have youth be seen, is just as important as the donations that are coming in, because it's, for a lot of these youth, it's the most vulnerable that they've ever been and will ever be. To be unhoused or in transition is incredibly scary. It's incredibly dangerous. And so whatever we can do, the impact, to be able to provide them with that stability and the resources that you've all been able to help us with is huge.
Yeah, well, it's really, I'm fortunate, as you are kind of like the front end of the program for you all, you see all of that. I'm kind of like the front end for all of these people here who have done all of this work. I get the benefit to be able to come to you and tell you what great things that they've done. And what you've done, what we've done together is the collection is $8,813
Wow.
for this year. And also, I know you cleaned out our bins at least once.
Absolutely.
And they were full. So a whole bunch of stuff.
And that I mean, even the day that we received those donations, I mean, we had clients in the building that took it that day, and so that's not an exaggeration. So again, it immediately is going to the youth that we've talked about and that I've told you about, and consistently. So we can't thank you enough for your generosity and just reaching out and continuing to partner with us.
Well, and even after all this, we're going to send you with Dr. Larry Park, who is an orthodontist who is part of our congregation. After everything was done, he and his family brought in 5 cases of toothbrushes.
Already got them loaded up.
Yeah.
We already got them loaded up. Don't even worry about that.
We love it. Yeah. Like I said, one less thing that they have to purchase or not, go without. So that's great. Yeah. And the money that you just mentioned, that's going to go towards food vouchers, bus passes. These families definitely need that to keep them, some of them, from becoming homeless too. We also work to prevent homelessness. Yeah. And you already know this, Pastor. Our goal is in the next year or two to have an operating homeless youth shelter in Fort Wayne. And so that's how
Yeah.
serious we are taking the whole homeless issue. We are, we don't have a homeless shelter here for youth. There's a place for adults to go. Youth do not have that. And a lot of them are couch surfing, like sleeping on relatives or friends' houses, couches, and it just becomes very complicated for them. So having a warm place where they can get a hot meal and staff like James who can talk to them and work with them. Our goal will be reunification with their parents. It's just a lot of them need some space and to discern and work things out. And one last thing I will say, I admire these kids. They have grit. They
Absolutely.
want to graduate from high school. They're just trying to get to the finish line with graduating. And we can then also help them look at what other opportunities are out there for them. Their lives matter, and we can help them because the parents care. Sometimes they're working, though, 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet. And so it's not like they don't care. Sometimes they're just trying to make it,
Just
Yeah.
trying
if
to
that
survive.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, sure.
dealing most likely, a lot of times, too, mental health is always something we see, unfortunately,
Right.
that these families are dealing with.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're fortunate to be able to work with you all, and I think part of what it is, every time I'm with you, there is always a sense that there's really, I mean, homelessness among youth is this real tragedy, but you all don't treat it like this tragedy. I mean, we're here to, just as we are all here together, just to be present.
Yes.
To be present, right? And it's, you're not a tragic individual. You're an individual. You're a person. You're a kid, you know, and you're here to, you know.
And very appropriate with this partnership and for the congregation, it's about instilling hope.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, really, in terms of just every day, yes, we are not going to sugarcoat it. It doesn't mean that circumstances and challenges aren't there in terms of it being just really hard. But we have to have hope, and we have to work together, and we have to keep moving forward. And as Amy said, our youth are incredibly resilient. And so that is something that we work with and we utilize. And so that way we can work towards transitioning into something better for them, something that they deserve.
Yeah. And this year, we did for the first time, we collected things. And so a lot of those came from families with kids. And so a lot of our families were talking to their kids about what they were doing at Christmas time.
And if I may,
Yeah.
the difference, and I could tell that because the quality of the items that you all were able to provide, it was tempting for me not to take some of that stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you, because we don't have that. I mean, even in my household. Yeah, I was like, wow, they got the good stuff. So, but that is so important. That is so important. Just not only that it's there, but it's something that it is of quality, and it shows that somebody cared. And to your point, people know what a youth would need, what they would like, and just it's special. It really is. And so having a high-end shampoo and conditioner and having a nice toothbrush and name brand toothpaste and deodorant and things that like you need, just to know that people actually went on and put in the time to be able to specifically buy those items, it was noticed immediately. So we thank you
Nice.
for that. Yes, truly, it really was.
Let me see your toothbrush.
I was going to say, don't look into my car. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of all of the good people here at Trinity, we have this for you all, and
Wow.
wish you Godspeed.
Thank you, thank you,
and
thank you.
You know that we're your friends, and
We
these
definitely do.
people, all of us together, are partners with you doing this work together. You're on the front of it, and we hope to stand behind you.
We can't thank you
That
enough.
possible.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
thank you so
big,
much.
big, heartfelt thank you to all of you. This really means more than you realize. So appreciate your help, and God bless you, and hope everyone has a good rest of their 2025.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's great being with you, and we'll see you soon.